So I'm wearing red. People are asking about Valentine's and their surprises. Let's get into it. What's going on, everyone? It's Rich Haywood here for Bacon Ice Cream Productions and Team RTFC, welcoming you to yet another episode of the Good Times Newsline Flashcast. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a great Valentine's Day, having some good times out there. Evercade seems to be having a good Valentine's Day, and it coincided with a unexpected Evercade news update. Now, I am just thrilled to death about how all of these things came together and how this story came to pass. And let's just get into all of it and we can talk about it, because it's just this is it. You know, for people that are in the Evercade the Evercade marketing sphere, let's just call it, this is exactly how I want this to go, because you guys do some really cool, sometimes cheeky stuff, and I've got to just golf clap it all day long today, because I caught very early this morning a post on X that said just this: "Hey Atari, will you be our Valentine?" And I thought, that's interesting. Why are they tagging Atari of all people? And they're doing it right around the time that in another 2 hours something might just drop. And I'm like, they didn't get it back, did they? But also, like, is this an outreach effort? Are they actually like just trying something funny on Valentine's Day to see what would happen? I don't know. I don't know. Well, lo and behold, we get a drop right on the YouTube channel, right at 9 on schedule. And here we go. It's Peggy 3. It's a purple cart. And it's time for more classic arcade games. That's right. Atari Arcade 2 gets announced for all of your favorite Evercade devices, the EXP-R, and of course the Evercade VS. And there's a whole bunch of classic Atari arcade games that, well, some of them aren't necessarily Atari, but they are Atari now. We'll get to that in a second. But very, very cool stuff. I'm very interested in seeing all of these games that just happened here. We can go through the list. So let's just do this and go over the review here, and then we'll go over onto the website and talk some more stuff here. More classic arcade games from the legendary publisher, of course, Atari. But like I said, right off the bat, first one you're going to see is a huge one for me. That's Berserk. Love this game. It's a grand old time playing. I love the 2600 version in particular. The arcade game is also awesome as well. And of course, you've got the voice stuff. Do we get the voice treatments on this particular game? Do we get the intruder? Do we get it? I don't know. We'll have to find out. But that's not all we get. This is a Stern title that was purchased from by Atari from Stern in an acquisition that included not just that, but many more games. And there is Frenzy, which is the sequel or spiritual successor to Berserk, of course. Crazy action, all sorts of really awesome stuff. These two games came out on Atari VCS as well as other places. Were also included in the Atari 50 anniversary celebration DLC. But some of these games, like Lost Tomb, which is another game that I can't remember the original. I can't remember the original arcade game. I'm pretty sure this is also a Stern game. And, if you look at it, if you look back at it, it also kind of looks in that same vein as like, is this more spiritual successor action to the Frenzy, um, Berserk kind of thing? I think so. It's one of those top-down shooter kind of things. It's just got a different coat of paint on it. So that's very cool. It's very interesting to look at. You got Minefield now. And Minefield is another game. So Lost Tomb, just to go down the list pretty thoroughly. Lost Tomb and this game Minefield are not on Atari 50. So these are games that are coming to people probably for the first time in a long time. So let's see if Minefield is another one of these games. I want to say that Minefield is a game that is maybe it's another, is it another Stern game? I think it might be. Yeah, Minefield, Long Play, Stern Electronics. All right, cool. So this is another game. So this is actually technically maybe even the Stern Atari collection. Well, there is some Atari goodness in here. This is more a Stern collection than it is an Atari collection, which is kind of interesting to see. We got Moon War, which is not on Atari 50. Moon War, again, I think is another one of these Stern gameplay games. I do believe that is correct. Yes, this is another Stern acquisition game. So again, there's a lot of this stuff is there. Rescue is not on the Atari 26 the Atari 50 collection. So this is already already this is one of those things where you're getting a whole bunch of games that some people may not have seen for a really long time or ever. So this got some pure discovery in here. You got some really awesome stuff going on here. They got Tasmania. I want to say this one is Tasmania on Atari 50. Let's double check. I do not see Tasmania anywhere. And I want to say this one again is another one, a Tasmania arcade game. It's another one of those Stern titles. So a lot of these, again, this is like the Stern collection. Now, Fire Truck is an Atari game, if I'm not mistaken, and it is on Atari 50. It's one of those ones that it kind of, okay, it fits, and yeah, it's a game, and it's cool. And the cool thing about Fire Truck is if you're playing on the actual device, the actual arcade game, it's cool. Like, because it's like the big old wheel and like a thing, and it's neat. Playing it on Evercade, I mean, it's cool to have. Like I said, it's on Atari 50 too. But it's all right. It's an okay kind of thing. And then Dark Planet is another one that is not on Atari 50, because I do believe Dark Planet, we are talking about, yes, indeed, we are talking about another Stern arcade game. So, and then Maze Invaders, I think is, I want to say Maze Invaders is, it is, yes. This is an Atari game. So, so there are some Atari games that were on Atari 50 and brought in here. I think, let's see. Let's just say Maze Invaders. Yeah, Maze Invaders is by Atari, and then for Fire Truck, I'm almost positive Fire Truck was an Atari game, and it is 1978. All right, so but yeah, so there you have it on those games there. Taking one more look at some of them. Like, which ones do I want to see more of? Like, I'm gonna play Berserk. I'm gonna play Frenzy. I'm really looking forward to Lost Tomb. I want to play that one because I don't think I've ever seen a cabinet, and it intrigues me because it looks like a Berserk clone. or Berserk spiritual successor. This game, Minefield, looks kind of cool. A lot of those like parallax scrolling kind of games. This one, Moon War, and some of the other titles that have those backgrounds, Rescue. It was all back in the day where some of that stuff is new. So you get to see like history behind these things, which I think is very interesting and kind of quite cool. So so that's that for that. Let's go to the cartridge and games page on the evercade.uk.co.uk website and check out some of the stuff here about Atari Arcade 2. Of course, it is, like I said, Peggy 3. You've got Berserk. It is 1 to 2 players. And we know what Berserk is. Frenzy. I want to see if there's anything else that talks about the games. Tasmania. Take arena shooting to the next level with Tasmania on Evercade. Rapid fire your way through hordes of enemies. Work quickly as the walls are closing in on you. That's cool. So the walls kind of like, they're just, oh, that's neat. That's very cool. All right. That's Tasmania. But what about Lost Tomb? Deep in the Amazon lies a great pyramid. It's your job to loot it in this all action adventure from Atari now on Evercade. Okay, so that's fun. And then you got Moon War. Descend to the lunar surface and defend your supply bases from attack and the squirreling shoot 'em up from Atari now on Evercade. And innovative dual layer arcade shoot 'em up from Atari. Recreated faithfully on Evercade. It's interesting that it says like, they bought the license and it's like all from Atari. I mean, these are games from Stern though. So I mean, whatever. They own Stern. They didn't own Stern. No, they just bought the licenses. So anyway, Choppy Waters ahead and this rescue helicopter rescue game. Can you rescue the stranded power troopers before the enemy gets to them? Okay, so this is like kind of like a Defender kind of thing. That's kind of cool. Or like Chopper Command. Wasn't it Chopper Command? Yeah, that was kind of fun. And then 90 miles of desert stand between you and victory, and the scrolling tank shooter is Minefield. Available from Evercade. Stock up on missiles and let the enemy have it. That's kind of fun. What do they say about Fire Truck? Fire! Hit the streets in this classic arcade driving game from the early days of the arcades, now on Evercade. Race as far as you can before fuel runs out. Be careful not to skid out. All right, cool. The Maze Invaders, which is actually cool. Gobble up the fruit in a series of ever-changing mages and this cult favorite from Atari. Maze Invaders was never released in 80s arcades, but now you can enjoy it on Evercade, which is kind of cool. So it's a game that, like I said, saw a release on Atari 50, but didn't actually see a release in an arcade machine, which is kind of cool. I wonder if this is one of those ones that like like Alan 1 or something like that would make like a custom machine for. I don't know if it's popular enough to do that. But that would be kind of cool. So there you have it, folks. That's the skinny on Atari Arcade 2. Some extra questions about all of this stuff. Does this mean now, is this Atari back? All right. Did Atari fill out the Valentine's Day card and send it back to the dear folks over at Blaze and say, hey, you know what? Yeah, we'll make up. Here's some more licenses. Here's some extra cartridges. Go ahead and start reprinting Atari Collections 1 and 2 in the arcade one. I don't know, maybe. That'd be kind of cool. Those are interesting questions to maybe get answers for. If they haven't already been in my busy day. But that's very cool. It's very interesting, and I like all of the things that I'm seeing here. Can't wait to talk about it some more tomorrow on the Evercast. And it seems like a good time to be had. And like I said, you have Valentine's Day, everyone's giving hugs, everyone's giving love, and even Atari can come out there and give some hugs and give some love to us over on the Evercade side of things, and even Blaze. And that's cool. That's very cool. It warms my heart to see that licenses that were once lost maybe can be coming back, but at least if not, then the companies can be working with each other again to release more things. Very, very cool. And I have been waiting for an opportunity to play most of these Stern games since I was looking at the IP list on the other Atari-based Newsline that we did a couple months ago, or just last month, I should say, where we did the whole list of all the IPs that were available. Atari purchased, and we're like, what are they doing with them? Well, clearly now we know what Atari's doing with them. They're gonna keep pushing them out. And you know what? Great, because all these old games that we haven't seen or I've never heard of have been lost to time are no longer going to be lost to time, because it looks like the guys out over Atari are going to find a way to do it themselves, or they're going to find good stewards to put these games out on awesome hardware so we can play them and have fun and talk about them. So that's awesome. That's awesome. So kudos to Atari, kudos to Blaze, kudos to everybody. And it looks like us, the fans, are going to be the ones that are having good times soon. By the way, this one comes out in April as far as the release date goes, with pre-orders as of March. I think they did the March 10th thing where you can pre-order as of March. Now, this is only one cart, though. You know they come in twos. Will we be hearing about the next cart soon? I don't know. Will we be hearing about SNK stuff? Probably not, because I think they're going to wait, and they're going to do a showcase for this thing. And I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to be later on, and then make a big deal about it. I have a funny feeling this year they're going to include some kind of hardware piece. You don't do a 2-year deal with a major company without doing some kind of hardware, right? Yeah, and it's ripe. You get the red box, with the white lettering, with a little neo-geo thingy. I mean, come on, guys. It's the slam dunk. You know this is probably going to happen. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe like a super pocket or something. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, that would be cool to have that whole thing. No, let's save that for the Evercast. So let's get on before I start rambling. Let's get off on this one here and thank, like I said, what we have to do at the end of every single episode of the Good Times Club. Let's thank some members of the Good Times Club. Not just some, but all. Let's thank them all. Let's thank the EverCanadian, Crimson Cross, Courage Games, Chris Westerman, Fan and Fiction, Lloyd Argem, Papa Pete, the Intellivision Gamer, Ken LaCure, Mr. Shua, John Willig, Gunsy20, Herb Wars, DF, Joe Whitlash, David Valdez, Immortal Sojourn, and Dan Nastic. Thank you guys all so much for your support, for being awesome, for helping us out. 1080p StreamYard, not only here, but on the Evercade Effect and the Evercast, and calling all retro gamers. I miss calling all retro gamers. We should get Ed and just pull him from the Evercade. The Evercade Effect has been eating him. He's been live streaming all sorts of crazy times and places. We need to get him to come over and hang out with us over on Calling Our Retro Gamers for a day. That's fine. I know he's doing his thing, and he's been doing a really awesome stuff. So you guys should go check out his channel. But also seriously, we should probably hang out and do some Calling Our Retro Gamers too, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about. So hopefully we'll be doing that soon. If you want to be a member, go ahead and hit the join button. You can become a member. We thank you so much for considering doing that. And also, there's a big red button that says subscribe. You can hit that too. Show us some love. Hit some subscribe. Hit some thumbs up, some thumbs down, some comments. Excuse me. Send me some well wishes before I die here. Yeah. And just be awesome and hang out and watch some more videos with us, right? So until next time, we'll catch you next time for some good times. I'm Rich. We will see you later. And hey, happy Valentine's Day. See ya.
team rtfc.baconicecream.com.